This is Kathy from Gadgets Top 321, and in today's video I'm going to take a look at an issue that I've been having with Rouge Grenat in my Jinhao X750 that I've put a Nemosine 0.6 stub in. I'm having problems with it's just dry writing, not wanting to write at all. And one thing I've noticed over the last couple days, I've got, sometimes you hear it called nib crud. I've experienced this before with Colorverse Golden Record. I experienced that same thing in my Kaweco all black Perkeo, and it did the same thing. The converter was full of ink and it would just barely put out a little bit of ink at a time, and I would try to saturate the nib, the feed, try to get it going again. And so I've experienced this for the last couple of days, and it happened pretty much all at once. I would come up here every day and write a little bit with each one of my pens. I do that to make sure the ink's not drying out, make sure there's still writing okay. And one day, it was yesterday actually, my Jinhao with the Rouge Grenat started writing like this, and I remembered that's the same thing that happened with my Kaweco Perkeo. And let's see, what I'm thinking about doing is switching the nibs back, because this is what it's supposed to write like. This is what that 0.6 stub was writing like just recently. But I have two 0.6 stubs, and the first one that I put in wrote super wet, and it looks really nice, but it was kind of a mess to write with. I call that the stub number 1. And let me flip over here and show you, because someone had recommended, hey, just use some blotting paper, but it was so wet and messy that when you would write, it would splash, kind of like when you stomp a water puddle on the sidewalk, it would splash. It does look nice. It doesn't have any sheen, but the shading when it writes this wet gives it like a halo effect to each letter, and it looks really good. And this is that really wet, I call it the stub number 1. I'm going to switch back and give that a try, because this Colorverse Golden Record, I used it in one of my pens that my sister got me. It's like a hand-turned wooden pen that she got from a craftsman near where she lives. And that pen writes really wet, and it would get nib crud, and it would kind of hard start, but once you got it going, it would still write. So I'm hoping that if I put a wetter nib in, it will be able to compensate for the nib crud drying on the nib. And I don't have the nib over here. Hold on just a minute, I'll go get it. Okay, it's on my Nemosine. I'm just going to slide this dry nib off and put the new one on. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Okay, and now I'm going to pause the video again and get the ink, try to get the ink flowing. Okay, let's see. if this is going to work. Still feels pretty dry. It's starting to kind of slow down there. Yep. The downstrokes are okay. Well, okay, I can tell it's starting to get quite a bit wetter. All right, now that looks a little bit better. Now it's just a waiting game to see if tomorrow, see if it dries out. Now, the nib's clean. We'll see if this develops the nib crud, and if it affects it to the point that it won't write. What did I do with my lid? All right. So I was kind of surprised that I know a lot of some of the orange and brown inks tend to have that nib crud, or will develop nib crud. And it actually, I mean, it looks like the nib. Actually, oh, I should have shown it on the old one. Let's see if I can get this without making a mess of my hands. It looks like the nib is actually rusty. So I wonder if this has something to do with something in the ink oxidizing. All right. So I'll just have to make an updated video. One thing, let's see. I think I have found a really nice ink to go in this. I've got a review coming up of the 78G, and I'm enjoying Yuyaki in this pen. It's so, when it's bright and sunny outside, my daughter and I go for a walk, you know, each day, and this brighter orange ink, I don't know, just feels cheerful. That bright orange ink and my brighter green ink that I've gotten recently, I'm just really enjoying those. So I'll make an update video on this and see if having a wetter nib, an even wetter nib, will combat nib crud. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.